Robin.
Are we back? We're back.
Okay.
There we go. We got Elijah Wood outside the studio. Bring him in. Elijah. Just
Hey,
met him
how you doing,
literally
man?
a minute ago.
What's up?
How are you, sir?
Very well.
Yeah. Busy? Well, they got you all over the place?
Not so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Not too bad?
No, not so bad.
You got to be used to this by now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's like, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, a little bit.
We were just,
Hey, what's up,
what
man?
were we just watching?
That's Jimmy, Opie, Anthony.
Yeah.
That's me.
We were watching.
Travis, don't
What's up, Travis?
He doesn't
I like the way he
matter.
looked at Travis, and you only introduced Travis out of obligation, which I kind of like.
Because he was in my line of view, and it's like,
I know we're going to talk about Wilford,
Are you the
which is
whipping,
on.
are you the whipping boy, Travis? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Slumped in the corner.
I'm getting the order of...
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Wilford in a second.
Yeah.
It's on, premieres tonight at 10 p.m. on FX, and we saw it. But quickly, we were just talking about you coming in and stuff, and we saw a scene from The Good Son.
Yeah.
We forgot you were in that.
Yeah.
Because you've been around forever.
Yeah.
And you were Macaulay Culkin's brother in that, right?
Victim.
Cousin, I think.
Cousin or
He was
something?
The victim.
Yeah.
And then
that was horrible.
And you guys are throwing the dummy over the
Yeah,
overpass.
that's brutal, man.
it's so
It was a real, like, brutal movie.
It's kind of an intense scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's all like small stuff right before that, and then they throw the body over, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. and Macaulay's all, like, into it and everything.
Because
really.
it goes from
it was
smoking
creepy.
cigarettes to creating car accidents. You're like,
Yeah.
stuff that a lot of us can relate to, maybe throwing snowballs at cars or something.
Now you're
Next thing-
shooting bolt guns.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're throwing a dummy into traffic. What the hell?
How did you make that transition from, like, really, you were a child actor, into you're doing roles now. They're adult roles. You have been for a while now. Do you remember when that transition happened, or did it seem natural, or was it like, hey, look, I'm doing adult roles?
I don't know if yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where I just continued to work. So I don't know if there was like one film that did it, or if there were a series of films that just suddenly were more adult. I think.
Do you remember the first movie you did, though, where you were like, okay, I'm not really playing like the little kid here? Although even as
I would
a
have
kid,
said
you
The
played...
Ice Storm would have been a
The Ice
transitional
Storm?
film, because that was like, it was a teenage role, but it was the subject matter was so adult.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you know what it is with your whole career too, though. Even as a kid, you weren't playing like kid roles.
Yeah,
they were like some of those movies. Radio Flyer was insanely intense to watch.
Great movie.
You know, that was one of those like, holy Jesus, this one.
Yeah, there was always some sort of maturity to either the subject matter to the characters. Right?
Yeah, except maybe Back to the Future too.
Right.
Okay, that one, just a kid playing a game.
Right.
Love that one. It's like, hey, look, there he is, playing a video game.
That was the first movie I was ever in.
Yeah. That was.
What was that like? What year was it?
God, in 89?
Yeah, probably 89,
Yeah.
something like
That's a
that.
hell of a start.
Yeah, I know, right? Jesus.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It was so awesome. Because
How'd you get that? Would Spielberg see
I
and just go, yeah, he fits the bill for a Spielberg kid?
I just auditioned. It was the tiniest little role, so I just auditioned for it. And yeah, it was nuts being on that set, like having seen the original film and then being there in the future. Like it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how I could process that. It's so awesome.
What'd you do? Like just start doing commercials, I guess?
Yeah.
As what was the first one?
My very first job was a Paula Abdul music video.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was for Forever Your Girl.
E-Rock.
E-Rock
And-
loves Paul Abdul.
Yeah, he's a big.
the guy in the booth.
No, he's right here.
Oh,
He's over here
Yes.
today.
There you go. Hey, what's up?
I didn't see him in the
Big
studio.
Paul Abdul. Do you remember him in Paul Abdul's video?
Now that he said it, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was that black and white video. David Fincher, funnily enough, directed that
Wow.
before he started making movies.
Eric's very strange. He likes Paul Abdul and Weird Al Yankovic. That's his music.
That's your jam? Those are your jams?
That's pretty much
jam.
it.
You
That's pretty much
get in
it
the
for
car
him.
for a road trip, and it's like
Making mixtapes for chicks.
Right.
cold-hearted
on there.
snake style.
Yeah, good for Elijah, beating him up.
Yeah, exactly. Even he hates you.
Trust
How
me,
does
he
that feel?
deserves it.
So, doing TV, that's kind of new, though, for you, right?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And from what I've heard from actors, it is a totally different vibe doing it. Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, the pace is so much faster.
Yeah.
You know, we shot 13 episodes in 10 weeks. We were doing like 8 to 10 pages a day. Some as many as 6 or 7 scenes a day. It was a lot. It's just a faster pace.
That was like the whole thing is like one it takes the time of one take in Lord of the Rings, I'm sure.
Right.
It's just like as long as it takes to do an entire series.
Yeah,
much different pacing. We should talk about Wilford, though. You want to tell the people what it's about?
Yeah, it's a weird show.
Yeah, it really is.
It is. It's a weird show, and it's not easily defined. I mean, it's essentially about a guy who befriends his neighbor's dog, but he sees the dog as a man in a dog suit. And we find my character Ryan in a moment of crisis. He's essentially trying to commit suicide. Hilarious. And he fails and wakes up the next morning, or doesn't wake up, he doesn't go to sleep, and he gets a knock on his door from his neighbor, and his neighbor's like, "Can you look after my dog?" Reveal man in dog suit. And sort of from there on out, you know, he spends the next day trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And then ultimately at the end of the episode sort of accepts this person dog in his life and recognizes that nobody else sees him, only he does, and it's going to be some kind of coping mechanism for him.
But everybody recognizes the dog as a dog.
Yes.
Dog, it's not an invisible friend.
Correct.
It really is. Chicks react to it like a dog.
Yes.
And the dog is just a pig, which is great. That's exactly what he puts his face in tits. I mean, there's some really funny scenes.
Yeah, the scene with the waitress is hilarious.
It's and there's one scene I don't remember what I watched all three.
Too,
the dog's always stoned. I like the fact they're showing that on FX. The dog is always high.
Great, man.
The language is great. You don't miss the word fuck. You don't realize that they're not. It's like it just feels like an HBO show.
Yeah,
with the language, and the dog is really. Was he fucking the big stuffed animal in one of them? It's hilarious because he keeps turning the stuffed animal.
There's so much more of that as the series goes. He develops a very intense relationship with that stuffed animal called Claire.
I think that maybe I was watching it last night. I got my thing late.
On the
He was talking about how much he likes eating out the asshole of a possum. Yeah. There's some really funny things.
You gotta love FX, man.
Yeah,
that's why they're kicking ass on the networks and everything. It's because it's real language. You don't have to sit there and go, "Oh, really? You're spoon feeding this to the children."
And they take risks. I mean, the construct of the show is strange. It's weird. It's very surreal. It's not easily defined, and they gave us full creative control to make the show we wanted to make, and not have to pander it to an audience to explain too much, because we don't explain a lot.
Right. Yeah. It's like, why is this happening? It's like,
we never explain it.
We're hoping
Deal with it. Yeah.
Me and Jimmy are hoping for some kind of reveal eventually.
I'm sure it'll happen as time goes on. You'll learn more. But I feel like there's something we don't know.
Yeah.
And you get that feeling watching it, like there is more to this.
There's something deeper going on here.
And he obviously wants to hook up with the dog's owner, who's this beautiful girl.
Right.
And the dog is kind of cock blocking, which is great. It's very funny. The cock blocks the dog throws.
That's actually how the whole thing started. Jason Gann, who created the character of Wilford, it initially started as a short film, and he was stoned with a friend of his, and they were talking about how their female friend had a dog that was cock blocking her prospective boyfriends, and giving the boyfriend shit. And so he created this sort of humanized version of that dog, Wilt Stoned, and they're like, wait, this is a really good idea for a short film.
Well, there's one scene, I don't want to give away punchlines, but there's a very funny scene where the dog tells his character that she has a flaw. and he's like, I don't want to say what it is.
Oh, Jesus
and the dog says...
the dog's an asshole.
I'll say it's only one line in one of the episodes, but the dog says... the dog is getting anesthesia or whatever, and he goes, she's
passing out. Yeah.
He's passing out, and the dog says, she has a dick, and then passes out. It's fucking funny, man. It was really great. They didn't soften it up and make it dog dialogue. The dog is really an asshole friend who does dog things. Yeah. And then you only remember he's a dog when he talks about chewing the asshole out of a possum, or he's humping somebody, or somebody's reacting and petting him. There's a very funny scene where he takes the dog to the beach, and the dog's just being a total douche on the beach. There's a lot of really, really funny scenes, and it is bizarre, so it's engaging to watch because you don't understand what this relationship is, but it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get into this?
I read the script. I was sent the script. I was reading a couple of different television scripts, just kind of interested in television. It's changed so much, in the last 5 years.
It's definitely more acceptable and accepted to get into. And
it's that, and it's also some incredible directors and writers and actors have moved to television, and it's an interesting medium now for storytelling. In some ways, more consistent than film in a way. And so I was just interested to see what was available. I'd never really taken a look at it, and this was one of the scripts that I read.
And a lot of it seems like the
funniest thing I'd ever read, really.
A lot of, like you just said, a lot of people that probably would have been shut out of TV 15 years ago because NBC, CBS, ABC, or whatever, the few networks use these writers in the same fucking cornball, beginning, middle, and end to an episode, and now all these creative people have other outlets. Like you might be able to do the show on a network, but it wouldn't be as funny because half the jokes wouldn't be able to play.
Yeah, you're totally right.
They would have to cuten it up.
Yeah,
they would
so anesthetized,
Yeah, the suicide attempt, they would be like, I don't know if we should.
It's too dark.
Yeah, it's too dark, and we don't want to show sadness, and
and we don't want to offend people, and
right, making mockery of him taking a bunch of pills, and it's just great. It's just great. His fucking sister's annoying and always yelling at him and kind of hot. His neighbor's a fucking complete. It's a very funny scene where he hangs out with the neighbor and they porn out and watch hardcore porn together. It's some funny shit, man. Fucking, a really kind of a weird homoerotic relationship with the neighbor, but the neighbor's not gay. He's just creepy and fucking invasive. Yeah, there's a lot of very, very funny, funny things with but the dog just sets him up to get fucked every time. Metaphorically, the dog sets him up to have problems. It's like a really weird, aggressive relationship. Like the dog loves him, but also wants to see him just be ruined.
Fail.
Yeah. Like the dog talks him into shitting into the neighbor's boots. There's a lot of very, very funny things. I won't give any more away, but you got it's worth watching.
It's a very strange show.
Dude,
Elijah.
they did that in the fucking the pilot episode where the dog shits in the neighbor's boots, and he's like, well, come on, there's one more, and he talks him into shitting into the neighbor's boot. Like, what a great thing to put in a fucking pilot.
And Elijah's character enjoyed it.
Yeah,
he was very happy.
The dog kind of frees him in a way from being this really sad guy. The dog is kind of a balance.
See, that's the whole point behind any of those things. Like, there are these ridiculous scenarios that Wilford tries to put him into that are seemingly harmful to the character, but ultimately what they're about is getting Ryan to live outside of his comfort zone. Because what led him to suicide was essentially like living a path that was not his own. His sister told him what to do, his dad told him what to do, and he ceased to follow his own path.
Right.
And Wilford's like, fuck that. Shit in the boot.
Yeah. Basically. Steal the guy's pot, the guy's big pot plants. But a lot of drug joke. I like the fact that they're smoking pot and it's like they're not sanitizing it like television would do. And that to me is what, and it's on right before Louis. So it's like people are going to tune into Louis at 10:30. I mean, tune in a half hour earlier and watch both shows. FX has a great...
Louis' show's incredible.
Yeah, it is very good. It's fucking, he's brilliant. I mean...
Incredible. I mean, that first season, it was so interesting because it sort of found its legs 3 or 4 episodes in.
Yeah.
And just became something wholly unto its own, like indescribable, nothing like it on television.
Yeah.
And this new season, I saw the first episode from the new season, and it's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes FX great, is they let Louis, because he knows what he's doing.
He has full control on that show.
Yeah, amazing.
But he was ready to walk. He's like, nah, I'm not interested in doing it that way. I want to do it this way. And they gave it to him.
Yeah.
They're like, he wants to edit, direct, write, everything.
He's literally writing it as he goes along.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to submit scripts.
We know Louis.
It's amazing.
Well.
I know.
He comes in a lot. Yeah.
He's got to have
great
photos of FX executives.
Absolutely.
What's that?
He wouldn't even show the executives the finished product. He goes, don't you worry, I will deliver, and then you'll see it for the first time. And
it's a real credit to
they decided
FX.
to go for it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And the fact is, and they said that, it's not a tremendously expensive show to do. That's why Louis, there's so much money wasted in television, and the fact that Louis knows how to do it. He's been doing home movies like these little shorts for years at the comic strip parties, fucking 15 years ago.
Oh,
Louis
really?
He'd be showing these little weird videos he made. Louis was always the guy doing that. And nice, it pays off.
Yeah, he
certainly did for him.
So funny. Easily, I think, one of the best stand-ups in America.
He's great. He's absolutely great.
Extraordinary.
I want to ask you about doing Lord of the Rings. It took how many years to film all those?
It was 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Now, you were
16
pretty much
months of actual being in New Zealand for a block of time.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. Now, obviously, it worked out pretty well. I mean, very successful movies. Would you ever commit to that much time again? Because it seems like a lot of career time, and it is kind of a gamble, not knowing if it's going to pay off. But you're out of the loop for a while.
Yeah. It was never anything I was worried about or considered. I mean, I think I recognized the fact that they were essentially setting out to make The Lord of the Rings, which is an incredible series of books, and it was going to be unprecedented. And the fact that Peter Jackson was directing it, I never really thought twice about it. It was such an incredible opportunity. I knew, regardless of how it ended up being received and turned out, I knew it was going to be a unique experience for me and a sort of defining experience either way. And it turned out to be fantastic, and the films are great. But it was just, I was 18 at the time, and it was the most incredible opportunity I'd ever had. So it was just, there was no question in my mind that it was something that now, would I
dedicate
take a similar kind of, it really depends. You know? I think it would depend on the filmmaker and ultimately what the material is, but that was a very special circumstance.
4 years on doing like Smokey and the Bandit 4. No. You'd say like no.
No. But it was a special circumstance, you know? The whole thing felt extremely unique and like being given an opportunity to take an adventure, you know?
When I watched, because I watched every bit of the DVDs, the making of, all the behind-the-scenes stuff with Weta and everything.
A lot of footage there.
Oh, my God. I was like, all right already, Anthony, what are you doing? Like, I'm almost done. Another 3 DVDs and I'm done. But just an amazing amount of work that went into that. And it really is the only way it could have come out that way.
Yeah.
When you look at a book like that, or a series of books like that, and realize somebody's going to try to make a movie out of it, you really got to go, yeah? Because it seems impossible. But, he really pulled that off. Yeah. Amazingly, yeah.
It was a pretty extraordinary feat, you know, when you consider how many people were involved in the making of it too, and like the ultimate collective effort it took. It was just mind-blowing, like down to the guy like making the chain mail, like sitting in a room.
Yeah, that's it. Like all the authentic costumes that went into
blacksmiths that were making
real
swords.
Blacksmiths that made the swords and everything.
Yeah,
he really wanted that.
It was a sort of Herculean effort, but it also felt like it couldn't have been done anywhere else, and I think we were all very aware of that at the time. Like, if it had been done in the United States, it probably would have been double the money, and the atmosphere surrounding it wouldn't have felt the same. It really felt like a family effort, even though it was this massive film. It's so funny talking to people about it, because they're like, you know, you're used to huge films. Like, yeah, it was huge. But it also felt like the world's largest independent film. It was very much a local family effort in this small country, and we felt very tucked away from Hollywood and the rest of the world in our own little world, making this, you know, Middle Earth come to life.
Did you spend a lot of time with them? Did you see the Maoris, I'm sure, when you were there, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's, you ever see Once Were Warriors?
Oh, dude, that movie's incredible.
It's fucking amazing, right?
Amazing.
Great flick about New Zealand and the alcoholism in the Maoris. It's fucking...
Really?
Yeah, but it's about one family being broke. But I always think of that when I think of New Zealand. That's all I know about New Zealand. So I just want to interrupt with my bit of knowledge. Bringing nothing to the conversation except just getting my voice on the radio.
It's a really powerful film.
Oh, fuck, man.
It's almost like the Native American experience here to a certain degree.
Yeah,
you know,
he's a big soap star over there. The guy who played Jake the Muss, and there's certain things in the book that happened that he wouldn't do, so they had to change it and put Uncle Bully in.
Interesting.
Well, you know, it's 1994. I'm acting like big spoiler alert, but you know, the daughter is raped. 13, she's raped by the uncle, but in the book, I think it's Jake who rapes her. But
oh wow!
All right, just figured I'd completely destroy the conversation. I did enjoy Wilford a lot, though. I
did. Yeah, Wilford's going to do all right.
Conceptually, it's great.
Yes.
When's the last time you auditioned for anything? Like, because you're obviously, as they say, offer only. I mean, you don't have to.
No, I still audition.
Do you really?
Yeah. I auditioned for something the other day.
God, that depresses me because I'm terrible on auditions. And when I get it,
auditions still make me really nervous.
I'm sure they make everybody else nervous too when he walks in.
He came out for this?
He walks in.
Man. It's either me or Elijah.
Your name is Fred Bentley. You're from Ohio.
Right.
Or does it go to Elijah or Fred Bentley?
I think I did pretty good. Walks out. I think I did.
Fred Bentley's good, man.
You gotta love Fred Bentley. Check his IMDb. It's great.
Yeah. Wow. All the roles he almost got.
That's odd that you still get nervous, though.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think I was also out of practice for a while because I wasn't auditioning as much.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of auditioning more now. I mean, I think the atmosphere around film has changed a little bit, and people are auditioning for things when they didn't necessarily used to have to. I think.
Wow.
I don't know what that's about, but.
What do they?
I have to say, like, auditioning for something and feeling like you've genuinely earned it. it means more. It feels like an actual
achievement. Oh, then if you
achievement.
just get tossed the role because of who you are or
totally.
past work,
Totally.
How do they tell? Like, is it awkward for them to ask you to read for something? We know he'd probably be great, but we have to ask to. It is kind of asking somebody to do something.
I shan't.
A lot of guys would, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess the only way I would know that is just the atmosphere of going in, and oftentimes I will say, like, I'll do a reading and they'll be very thankful. I'm like, no, thank you for having me. Like, it's not a big deal to come in.
For coming in. I'm trying to get a job here.
It's my job.
Yeah,
that's what I'm supposed to do.
That's real fame right there.
Does your agent bring you stuff, or will they say, "Look, we'd love Elijah to read for this. Would he be willing to come in and read?" Do they send you scripts and go,
yeah.
Would he read? That's great.
Yeah.
Because my agent will call, my manager will call, do you want to go in and try? Should I try to get you in for this? The last audition I did wasn't good.
Did you bomb?
Fucking horribly. It was from,
what happened?
It was,
it's an awful feeling, isn't it?
It certainly is. It was for the,
you walk out and you're like,
just missed.
No.
It was for the Alec Baldwin Meryl Streep movie, which to me did not look like appealing. And the role that I was reading for, I was wrong for. But I was like, it's Meryl Streep, you have to read. It's like, but it was for the hotel doctor, and I'm like, you fucking, to my manager, I'm like, I'm not a hotel doctor, you fucking, and I go in, and I'm so bad. I'm just disastrous, and the girl is sick. First of all, it's hard to get on camera, as you know. It's harder if the producers are in the room, but on camera it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm bombing.
Mr. Faversham?
Dude, I wasn't even that good. I would have been better if I went, and I said, I stopped. I'm like, look, can we just restart this? And she goes, no, just keep going. We'll piece it together.
Meaning, get the hell out.
Meaning, you've wasted enough of my time already.
No.
But I couldn't even be mad at her because I was giving an abominable read. She did what she should have done. I was wasting her time.
Yeah, she let you off the hook, basically.
She fucking ushered me out.
I'm doing you a favor.
So we can get you out of here.
Exactly.
Get you out of your misery.
The hotel doctor. Yeah, I never should have read for that. I should have just said no.
Hey, I want to ask Elijah about Victoria Falls, which has nothing to do with acting and stuff. But you went across that in ropes?
Yes.
And you were the first person to do this?
Apparently, yeah.
What does that mean?
You remember Jack Osborne's show, Adrenaline Junkie?
I know.
He was on it, and he did. It's a stunt, really.
Yeah. Yeah, he had that show, which I think he still does, where he basically has people go to different parts of the world and they basically do sort of like adrenaline activities. And he asked me to come down to Africa, so it was an awesome I'd never been to Africa before. And one of the activities that we did was they pulled a line across the Victoria Falls. There's a giant gorge. And we basically harnessed ourselves in and pulled ourselves across.
Holy crap.
It was amazing.
How high up were you?
I don't actually remember.
But I mean, like, you weren't 20 feet off the water. You were high.
I was high. It was actually the part of the season there where it's the lowest water, like the tide. It's not a tide, but the lowest amount of water coming off of the falls.
Oh, wow.
So we could actually stand on the falls. It was mind-blowing. And pulling ourselves across, it wasn't harrowing in like a bungee jumping kind of way. In fact, in some ways, I wasn't even nervous. It was adrenalizing, kind of pulling myself out there and just looking at the vista. And I ended up just sitting there and taking photos the whole time.
Wow, you stopped in the middle and just took pictures? That's cool.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Then again, if you've seen Cliffhanger, there's no guarantees. I mean, fucking equipment breaks.
Yeah.
Great scene, right?
I think I'm far too trusting.
Yeah.
So I didn't even really consider those options.
Yeah. Wasn't that great when she's fucking hanging there and Stallone grabs her and there's a great shot of the canyon?
Oh, yeah. Couldn't hold
I did a
on.
gorge swing, too. Have you guys ever done a bungee jump or anything like that?
No.
No bungee jumping. No.
Skydive, anything like that?
No.
My girlfriend and I fought because in Vegas. We fought because I didn't want to go up into a 51-story glass elevator because I hate heights so much. And she's like, just come on, do it. I'm like, you go fucking take the elevator. I'll wait. And this castrating, rotten monster just screamed at me until I took the elevator. Fucking horrible. So I don't know. I never bungeed. It scares me.
I want to hear about the swing. Of
course.
Yeah, so the gorge swing is like a bungee jump, except you're not on a bungee, it's just a normal cable. And I did it twice. Once with Jack, we did a tandem jump, which, dude, it's intense enough on your own, but when you've got double the weight, it's so much faster. And we did it backwards, so you're not looking.
No.
But the first time I did it, I'm standing and you're looking at this giant gorge in front of you. and they tell you to jump, and everything in your body is saying, nope, nope, this is death. This means death. And the free fall, I don't know how many seconds it is, but it feels like an eternity. It is the most intense feeling and horrifyingly scary. So there it is.
Oh, my.
Is this actually you doing it?
There is
just,
footage of me doing it.
There's a guy he's doing a handstand.
I didn't do that.
Okay, that's not you doing the handstand.
That's unadvisable.
Oh, gorge jump
That's
is
unadvisable, yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, no way.
I would never do that.
Wow, yeah,
What's it attached to? It's something going across to the middle?
Cable,
It's a cable. So then what happens, why they call it a swing, is basically at the end, it goes taut, and once it goes taut, it turns into this lovely little swing, which is...
And they lower you or raise you back
to get
up.
to a very peaceful thing.
Yeah.
And I immediately felt like I wanted to do it again, and then I regretted it when I was back, facing my back to the gorge, doing it backwards.
Wait, now,
it was an absolute nightmare.
When you do that, do they lower you into the water when you're done, or do you get pulled back up?
There was no water below us. It was just rocks.
But you go to the ground?
Yeah.
Okay. Going back up would scare me more. Being hauled back up would, because you're losing ground. At least when you're falling, you're getting closer to the ground. That would scare me more.
See, that's the most dangerous part, though.
No, I know,
the
but
closer to the ground part.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
Yeah, it was scary. We also did a 2.5-day rafting trip down the Zambezi River, too.
With Jack?
Yeah.
Why does he do that? Why doesn't he just stay home and just talk to Ozzy all day? That's what I would do. That's all I would do is just talk to Ozzy.
Jimmy's a huge Ozzy fan. Huge fan of Ozzy.
An adventurer.
Yeah. We had Jack in here recently. He's doing well.
Yeah, I don't know.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
It's amazing.
Did you see the documentary?
So much. What's that?
The documentary, did you see he did about...
He did one on his father, right?
Yeah,
no, I haven't seen it.
It's fucking great.
Is it?
Jimmy
I'm a huge Sabbath fan.
Yeah, me too. I'm
Jimmy
fucking...
is the consummate
Jimmy's
Ozzy
the...
Sabbath
No, but I wouldn't have brought it up
Biggest
unless he mentioned Jack. But it's amazing a guy with such a great career, and I mean you, like would take these chances to...
Well, he wants to live.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He just sounds like he likes a little
Just
adventure.
stay in front of the cameras all the time.
Right.
That's it.
No, I'm not
Keep
saying
working.
you don't live and enjoy life, but I would never.
Did you get the bug for adventure filming in New Zealand? Because they're all about that.
They are.
They have a lot of bungee jumps and gorge swings and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I did some of that there, but I didn't do a bungee jump. They also do, you can jump out of planes and stuff there too. I didn't do a lot of that. They have this thing down in Queenstown. It's like a jet boat. Where it's a very fast jet boat that they drive around in these sort of like little rivers, and it's very frightening, and you get very close to the rocks, like dangerously close.
That sounds creepy.
Yeah, I did that. That was pretty awesome.
No, thank you.
No adventure for you.
No, I like being out there, but nah, that's too fast. Would you do that? The jet boat in a river with the rocks flying by your face?
I'm a car guy. I'll do things in cars, but I won't.
I did that in New Zealand. There was a what is it where it's off-road racing? What is that called? Rally cars?
Yeah, they do rally cars like doing the Baja down in Mexico.
So
that kind of thing.
I got to do a ride in a rally car, and that was the most intense experience.
Yeah, they'll shake your kidneys out of you.
Well, dude, the thing that blew my mind was how much control they have, but how it feels like you're out of control the entire time.
Yeah.
Like it's all about the skid, and we were near like the edge of cliffs, and the guy had control, but it literally felt like it was constantly just out of control.
I'm sure if you got behind the wheel, it wouldn't be as in control. That's how I was feeling.
Correct. That is correct.
That's how I felt. I did the NASCAR thing over at Pocono Raceway, where you go around with an instructor and kind of get the feel of the car, and then they put you in the driver's seat, and you take one out at like 140 miles an hour, 150, and when you're with the guy and you're in the passenger seat, you're kind of like, wow, this thing does stick to the road really well. Like, he's going around these curves just flying.
Yeah.
And then you get in the car yourself, and like you said, everything tells you, I'm not supposed to cut the wheel going this fast. Yeah, and you do it and realize, oh, yeah, this does kind of stick. Then you got to come out right next to the wall. And that stuff, though, I love doing. That's fun for me. But I would never parachute. I would never bungee jump. But something like that, I love it.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
It was so cool.
I would love to have an opportunity to do something
Pocono
like that.
Raceway.
What were we talking about yesterday? In Vegas?
I was just thinking that my ex did it. We went to Vegas.
Oh, yeah, you were petrified.
I wouldn't
again.
do it.
Little scared Jimmy.
I really am. But
Elijah's laughing.
my race car driving is, I I don't wear condoms. I mean, we all have our thing. Come on, healthy.
Death-defying.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it is, it works. But we went to the Stratosphere in Vegas, where you fall. I imagine you would do it. It's.
I think Elijah would do it. Yeah.
I don't think it's as scary as what he's already done. To me,
the decelerator. Yeah, they use a decelerator.
You seen this, right, Elijah?
Yeah. Will you jump? Would you do that? Will you jump? It's probably about a 900-foot drop where they just kind of lower you off the stratosphere.
Yeah.
You would do that?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. So he's not afraid of heights.
He's probably been in decelerators and rigging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't really scare me. That
would horrify me from that. It wouldn't scare me if it was like a certain height.
Did you do that?
No, my girlfriend did.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Again, the castrating.
His girlfriend does all the manly stuff.
Yeah, she wanted. No, she knew I wouldn't do it. She knew not to ask. She's lucky I paid for her to do it. But no, the elevator was the thing I did. I was like, brave boy in the elevator.
The elevator.
The glass elevator at the Rio. You saw Penn and Teller. Fucking total pussy I am. It's humiliating. What is this ride?
At least you can own up to it.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. By the way, that's where you go. Yeah, she did that too.
What is that?
It's where they hold you over the edge and they drop you.
No.
What? She said it wasn't that scary.
Oh, that's over the edge of
Stratosphere.
That's scary.
Yeah, I know. It's horrifying.
What a strange place Vegas is.
Yeah.
It really is just an odd place.
It is such an odd place. I was just there for the Beatles, the Love Show, their 5th anniversary, and I actually got to DJ the event after, but I hadn't been to Vegas in a long time, and I hadn't really spent time there as an adult.
Yeah.
It is a very odd... It's such an odd city.
Weird mix. Like, there's kids there.
There's so much ingrained sadness. Yeah. Like, it's such sadness. You know, at like 5 in the morning, you're walking around and there are old women smoking, sitting there at the fucking slot machines.
The slot machines just hoping for the big win.
Oh, my God.
You ever take the ride 2 blocks off the strip? If you want to see real sadness?
The old strip?
Not even, man.
Like the actual town of Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah. A mere 2 blocks away. It is really sad.
I'm sure.
With the horrible motels and...
Well, the whole city, it sort of survives on the fact that it's all about...
losing your house.
And it's a city built on hotels and gambling and attractions.
So people have to lose for them to sustain the city. So... there's just, like you said, this underlying
and they come
sadness.
in droves, and it feels like a lot of it's Middle America and European tourists, and it's just a bummer.
Just hoping to make that big one and forget about their problems.
And in the midst of it, there are these Cirque du Soleil shows. So weird.
It really is built on misery.
It's a show that, it's a place that can be enjoyed for sure. And I think like 36 to 48 hours, go to some great shows, have some great dinners, and get the hell out.
Do you gamble? I don't gamble at all. I don't go to work, so I have fun in Vegas because I don't gamble. I blow $200 in the week on video poker.
Gamble little.
I would, I didn't do it when I was there. I would love to. Like, I've never done blackjack at a table or poker at a table. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to stop.
I'd want to be able to play with somebody that knows what they're doing.
Oh, this guy does.
That's fun.
You play?
Yeah.
He's
when I'm at casinos. The thing is, I don't like make it a point to go to casinos just to gamble. I go there like if Jimmy's playing at one of the casinos, I'll go, or a concert's on that I want to see, and then I'll go and I'll gamble and do that. But
high roller
to jump in a car and just go, I want to gamble. I'd be broke.
But when you're there, you're all in.
Oh,
he's in the high roller section.
If you're going, you go.
He spits on the floor and they allow him to return. If that doesn't tell you how much he's gambling.
He has a pillow that he gets to scream into.
Yeah.
I was being much too loud one night.
I think he's being a little too polite how he's discussing this with you.
Yeah.
And my buddy Keith, he's a cop here in New York. He's my security guy.
Nice.
And he grabbed a pillow and he's just like, here. Because I would lean over sometimes and punch him. I go, 21 dealer, what is that crap? You can't win with a 20 at this table? 20's not good enough at this table. That's me. I'm just going nuts.
It's a sickness. It's a good time. Every codependent around him is like, go ahead, please, just win. Please win. So we don't have to pay for our own dinner. Please. We have to get a lot. He has to wrap. So
yeah, we gotta wrap.
We want to get the plugs out too.
Busy guy.
You can follow him on Twitter. It's at Wood Elijah, one word, Elijah. Wood Elijah is the word.
Oh, cool.
And Wilford, I really enjoy this.
I liked it too, there, Elijah.
Thanks, man.
I think you got
Great,
something
man.
here.
Premieres
Not that
tonight.
you need us to tell you that, but
What time tonight?
I think you're going to be a big
10
star.
tonight. 10 o'clock tonight.
10 tonight.
Before
FX.
Louis. And there's some really fucking edgy stuff in it, and I love where they went with a lot of the jokes. There's nothing cutesy about it, and for shitting in the boots, they won me immediately with a shit in the boot moment. Very funny.
You can always score high points with shit in the boot.
You can though, because you don't. See, I've never seen
the
that.
pilot, man.
I've never seen that in a show before.
Roll
it was
it out.
fucking funny and it was aggressive, and
I'm excited
I
to
liked it
see
a lot.
where the show goes. You know, we did 13 episodes, and over the course of the season, it felt like the scripts were getting better. I love all the scripts,
Sure.
and they're very funny initially, but it started to open up conceptually to play at a lot of other levels, and I feel like what it becomes at the end of the season, I'm really excited for people to see where it goes.
I think that's what a show has to do. You start off here, you let everybody get used to the characters, and then you start to build on it, and like you said, expand. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, man. It's
Thanks,
actually very
man.
funny.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, it's been a
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Fun.
all right.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Elijah Wood.
It's radio. Wildly funny. Wildly funny. Laughing out of your mind. Wildly funny. It's radio. Wildly funny. Wildly funny. This is the most energy I've had at 7 in the morning. Wildly funny. Oh, jeez. I've never been in a room this funny. Wildly funny. Wildly funny. Laughing out of your mind. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. It's radio. Have you ever been to the zoo? Because that's also entertaining. Wildly funny. Wow. I've never been in a room this funny. Wow. No. It's radio. Wildly funny. Radio. Wow. Wildly funny. Radio. Laughing out of your mind. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Antonio.
Amy.